drills,
Sure.
shovels,
That's a good question.
wrenches.
Yeah, you can't take the whole project's supplies and just stick them on site at the same
Right.
time. It's probably very rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe some of these factories built out in the middle of fields and nowhere.
Yeah, they got them all stored up there. Yeah.
It's interesting. I noticed I visited a lot of different plants in different countries, and a lot of them build just outside the city limits, and they'll have, I don't know, they use hectares most other places, but basically like half a hectare is an acre, roughly.
Mm.
But it's common to see 50 or 100 hectares for one building, and they're so big. Like, I could envision that for that project, they probably built that thing in much shorter amount of time, because each crew probably was able to store everything there on site.
Yeah.
I don't have a question.
And we do that. we do that with we do that with trailers and stuff. We a lot of times on a big job we'll carry a trailer in. We store tools and stuff in there, and also stuff that are highly sought after. Like copper and brass. We can't be running back and forth, so we keep it on a lock and key in trailers and connexes.
You got to keep that stuff locked up, especially the copper. Probably the brass too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, especially these days.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Metal.
Yeah.
Yep.
You ever had a trailer stolen from a job site?
Not a trailer, no. We've had some trailers broken into.
But the trailer itself stayed there.
Yep.
That's something, I guess.
Well, most of the time we got equipment stuff parked around them. We can't hook onto
you
them.
can't get to them. Yeah.
How effective are those safety toolboxes I see on all the trucks?
They can
They're
be pried off.
pretty good. I mean, yeah, they can be, but they got the holes in there, where you got those recess locks. Mm-hmm. So you can't really get in there to cut the lock bolt.
Yeah, you have to tear the bed off
Yeah.
pieces. Mm-hmm. But I guess if it's in a deserted area,
but the best way,
nobody
and
around.
some muscle.
best way to do it is take your grinder and just grind the hinges off of it and flip it open.
Yeah.
For everyone listening.
So what you've heard?
Yeah, what I heard. Yeah, what I heard.
Yeah, what you've heard.
Yeah.
I saw those fancy new tools you had out there, Jeff.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Just got them.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a grinder blade on bar. I've used all that. I went through 4 of them yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you, because someone broke into my trailer last week and stole all my tools.
So is that something that you see? Maybe less experienced project managers or crew chiefs. They forget to supply their guys with the appropriate tools.
Well, it's hit or miss. I mean, yes, I've got other contractor stuff I've talked to before. When I say contractors, they're field guys, and they'll comment on site. Like, y'all carry that stuff on your truck all the time. Well, yeah, most of the time, we do. And I wish our guys would, our employer would let us do that. So we get out here and find out. We need this, we need that. We got to run back to the shop. We got to go to the hardware store and buy it, or whatever it may be. And which generally it's a foreman running down the road getting the stuff. Well, when the cat's away, the mice will play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you got the highest paid guy on the site running
Yeah.
up and down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And so it's costly on several different levels. One thing, you got wear and tear on your vehicle, going up down the road, wasting gas, wasting tires, wasting valuable time, and not only that, you got a whole crew that's sitting there for an hour and a half, twiddling their thumbs. That's costing you probably got $110 to $150 an hour in your crew, just waiting on the foreman to get back with the tools they need to do the job.
Look, Jeff, you're only human, and so are they. Are robots going to take over the construction industry?
They are in certain levels. We talked about, robot bricklayers a while ago.
A robot bricklayer.
Yeah. I've seen them in action.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, up in Goodlettsville about 4 or 5 years ago, a big school project we done up there. And it's a little intensive as far as setting up. It takes a couple of days to get it set up.
Yeah.
But once it's set up, you couldn't have a crew of 20 men to lay brick as quick as that thing did.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is it just like infrared? Like it shoots a line and it just...
I don't know all the details to it, but
Okay.
yes, once you get it set up, and it knows how thick your bricks are, how thick a mortar joint you want, and
it just calibrates that, and
all you got to do is you just got to keep putting brick on a machine, and keep feeding it mortar. It does all the work. 2 guys can feed a machine.
What about dirt work? Are robots being used in dirt work at all? Is
I
it coming?
haven't seen them.
But you've heard.
I say I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them in action. I have watched them online, like in Japan. They've got robotic, dozers. Haven't seen any excavators, but I have seen like dozers and track loaders and stuff of that nature.
Wow.
Cabless machines out there running, and I think they've got some of the stuff. Cabless machines, yeah.
So there's no human intervention then.
Just got a rover sitting on top of it like a GPS rover.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Have you ever seen a robot lay pipe?
No.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've seen some guys come in stoned that like robots and try to.
Yeah. Seen some of that action.
Well, I was just curious.
But no,
Thank you for enlightening me.
I know it's coming. Eventually. But
you're probably right.
What kind of expense are you looking at? What's it going to be? How long is it going to take you to revamp savings? We've got an ever-growing population, and our wonderful president we have now just keep letting people come in on the droves, by the droves across our border. Population continues to grow. At some point, if you keep cutting out labor jobs and need for people, who's going to make a living for those people? Who's going to keep them up? I know that we taxpayers are keeping up a vast majority of them right now, and I don't like it. Never will like it. But the more jobs we tend to take away from people, it may save this industry or this company, money down the road, but it's going to take years and years and years to revamp your initial cost, and then you're driving people out of work that the government or us taxpayers have got to keep up, which if the government keeps them up, we're keeping them up anyway.
Have you ever worked on a job site where during the construction phase itself, security was extremely tight?
Yes. We've been on some military-type bases where security is very tight. We've worked at Fort Campbell, worked up at Oak Ridge, different places we've been in. And even there's some different levels of security, like, if you go up to like the General Motors plant, the old Saturn plant, you got certain levels of security there. Nissan plant, certain levels of security there. A lot more than you would have in just any other place, but it's and a lot of places, which is good. Like if you're working on, say you've got a school building, and say they're adding on to it, it's an actual school. You're working during school hours, you have to go through extensive background checks for your employees. To make sure you don't have some kind of pedophile or something. You're turning in there, on the schoolyard with kids.
Sure.
But
that's a good thing.
Yeah. But there are a lot of security steps and measures that you go through, depending on where you're at. Some a lot heavier than others. And there's certain places that, when you go into work, you only got certain times that you can work in these areas because, it's like at Oak Ridge, for instance, it's top secret stuff. And, we couldn't see in it. We couldn't be around it until certain times of the day. And then we could go in that area and work.
Now, is that something generally that's part of the bid package or your GC makes
It
you
is.
aware of?
It's up
so
front,
many required hours of training.
Yeah. And prisons. I've done a couple prison jobs, and we talked about making sure your trucks and stuff have adequate tools. But by God, you want to make sure that you got just exactly what you need, because every morning when you go in, that truck gets tore down. All your tools
you have to
come
list
out.
everything.
You got to list everything, and then you get checked when you come back out to make sure everything's there. Sometimes it's an hour and a half deal to get in, an hour and a half get out.
Yeah, I deal with that at factories when I go into them. We have it's nice to have your bag of tools, which, all-purpose tools.
Right.
Big bag, maybe you got your roll along, but on a lot of those jobs, when you start filling out that sheet of paper, and you're there for 45 minutes to an hour filling out, and then you got to do it on your way back out. It's a real pain in the butt.
You can't just snap a photo of it with your phone, and then when you're way out, just pull out a
They won't go for that. Yeah.
And
That's too bad.
Every compartment you got on that truck, some places you think it'd be impossible for someone to fit in there, but they want to see every nook and cranny and make sure no one hiding in there trying to get out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty. Some of the prison stuff is pretty intense. We've got excavators, fuel-consuming, hydraulic-using excavators that work on the ocean floor with a operator with scuba gear on.
Yeah, you showed me videos of that before.
You actually land like telecommunication line and stuff across the ocean floor.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
You can generate more torque with an electric motor than you can
That's true.
like a combustion
That's
engine.
true. Yeah.
but why? I still don't understand. Of course, I know why. It'd be too easy. Nuclear energy is the most efficient and long-lasting fuel source that we've got in the world. Look at these submarines that run for months and months and months on nuclear energy. And they turn electric turbines.
Yeah, definitely.
But it runs off nuclear energy.
Why aren't we utilizing this
I
technology?
have no idea. And we've got
It's
nuclear out of
because
years.
of the concern, like when you have a
The
Radiation.
power
potential
plant
radiation,
meltdown,
sure. Yeah.
like
That's a
the
big deal.
environmental damage and concerns there are, well, there's serious concerns.
Oh yeah, we don't want to breathe in chemicals that kill us.
Well, it's not even breathing it; it's the radiation exists,
Oh,
and
just-
just permeates
it's
the
there.
environment. Like
Yeah.
where we drop the atomic bombs,
Yeah.
that land is dead
It's
for
dead,
I forget
ever.
how many thousands of years.
Yeah.
Nothing will grow there.
What about the guy in the 50s, I can't remember his name now, that invented the hydrogen engine, cars that run on water? He mysteriously died.
I'm
He was
sure he
murdered.
did.
He was murdered.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mhm.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, another thing, why can't you make a vehicle that's self-sufficient? These electric cars, there's generators. Generators charge batteries. Just like an alternator charge your battery going down the road. Put something like on the damn wheel that, like you got another wheel that sits on top of your tire. As it turns, it generates. It may not keep you fully charged, but it gets you like 3 or 4 times further.
Yeah, the difficulty with that is, so you would create that, you would generate that power with magnets, and the magnets create resistance. So even your alternator, there's a very finite amount of resistance that it uses to charge up your battery. But if you wanted to create something like a perpetual motion machine, we have yet to invent anything like that, because anytime you have a transfer of energy, there's going to be a loss. And so that's why it cannot self-sustain.
But it could prolong.
It could prolong, yes, but
Like if you get 8 hours out of a charge, just say, if you can drive 8 hours, you got to recharge, you might get 12, 14 hours. If you just, even like with a windmill type thing, like if you had something on your hood, under your hood to collect the air as you drove down the road to turn a turbine that would produce energy to charge your batteries, it may, like I said, may not keep them at a full capacity, but charge them enough to get you a little further down the road.
But the question then that you would have to answer is the resistance caused by this wind turbine or caused by using magnets to generate the power?
Costs more energy.
Does that cost more energy than it would take to sustain itself?
I don't know.
Because if you imagine your car and, to continue or to remain at 70 miles per hour, it's fairly simple unless you go up a hill.
Yeah.
But when you add that resistance, it's like you're going up a hill. So you're going to have to apply more power just to sustain that same velocity. So, that's why you don't see that.
That's why drafting was so popular in NASCAR.
Yes, it's free energy.
Yeah.
Free energy, yeah.
Yeah,
You're using somebody else's energy.
that's right.
All right, you ready to record one, Jerry?
Oh, we've been going.
Oh, we've been going.
Getting all kinds of fascinating Scientologies.
That's right.
Scientologies.
Hell, you come. You want to know physics? You come to ProfitDig.
Yeah.
We'll talk about a little bit of everything.
Once upon a time, I did a lot of physics.